guys, and welcome back to another Remembering Forgotten Memories video. So I was trying to think of anything from around this part of the year-ish. Would have been nice if I could have come up with something Halloween-y, since, Monday is Halloween, but didn't come up with anything that stood out in my mind, at least this time. Maybe another time I'll come up with those, but I did randomly remember this that was from about-ish that same time of year. Might have been early November even, but regardless, close enough. So, this takes us back to the year I was either maybe 14 or 15, and I was over at my grandpa's house. Actually, my cousins were over that day too. And I don't know if my grandpa had brought home, like, some tree stumps or something from, like, the docks or from where the hell he had these tree stumps from, but he was going to chop them up and make firewood out of them, since this was in the days when it was still kosher to burn firewood in wood-burning stoves. California, that is kind of a law now that unless it is the only heating mechanism you have in your home, you are not allowed to use those anymore. The more you know. Yeah, people in other states and around the world are probably like, what the fuck, really? Yeah, they're that strict here now. That's why most places here now that have fireplaces, they're the gas-powered ones. They're not, like, real fireplaces. So, anyway, yeah, so, regardless, he had my brother out there and my cousin Jake out there helping him. So basically the boys. And I saw this, and of course, my 15-year-old brain just was immediately enraged at the sexism in this. I was just like, I want to do it too. Because I think at that age, I really truly thought I was trans at that age, okay? Like, until I was about 21, 22, I legit thought I was. Spoiler, I don't think I am anymore. I think I was just good old-fashioned tomboy, but at that age, I really thought I was a boy trapped in a girl's body. I know there's more nuance to it than that, but I'm just speaking from what my experience was. Regardless, saw that, and just, I had to be included. Just like, if the boys are doing it, I want to do it. Because if it's a boy thing, then I need to be included. And I expected pushback from this, because for as progressive as my grandpa was, I mean, this was from my younger set of grandparents on my mom's side, as progressive as they were on certain things, they were also really old school, old country Italian on other things. And I was fully expecting pushback on this, since, I mean, my grandpa could kind of be a bit of a sexist at times, but usually not in a way that was so much offensive as it was, like, I mean, it's bad to say in today's world, like, he would do it in, like, a funny, endearing kind of way, like, it wasn't really, like, targeting people, like, to push them down, usually. Sometimes maybe, but usually not, but occasionally he could. But I was fully expecting pushback on this. Instead, he stops mid-chop, looks me up now, and just like, I don't know, do you think you can lift an axe? I was like, of course I can lift an axe. I mean, he wasn't wrong. I mean, he wasn't saying that because I'm a girl. He's saying that because I notoriously have zero upper body strength whatso freaking ever. All my strength is in my legs, and this is well known. I can lift like several hundred pounds with my legs. Can I lift a 40-pound bag with my arms? Fuck no. But still, this was why he was skeptical. He's like, I don't know, you think you can lift one? Of course I can lift one. So I gotta pick it up, and initially do have the moment of, this is heavier than I thought it was gonna be, fuck. But I was just like, nah, if the boys are doing it, I wanna do the manly man things that they're doing, because I'm a manly man, I'm gonna do it too. I mean, I think this was around the time I had, like, started insisting on being referred to as a boy. I wanted my dad to refer to me as his firstborn son, and I think this had probably trickled back enough to my grandparents to where he was, like, not even surprised by this, so he's like, sure, let her do it, but anyway. So he's like, okay, alright, I'll show you how to do it. So he walks over, he shows me how to hold my hands on the axe, and pretty much, like, walked me through the gesture for the follow-through of how to actually do the chop on the piece of wood. It seemed easy enough in theory, and I'm watching my brother go to town on this. He's like a little tiny kid. He's like maybe 7 years old, 8 years old at this point. My cousin, probably like 10-ish, probably, give or take. So I'm like, if they're doing it, there's no way I can't do it. So, alright, he shows me the way to do it, and I lift it up, struggling. I can feel the shake in my arm, and I'm expecting it's gonna go through, and it's gonna be awesome. It, like, barely made a fucking dent. Adding insult to injury, I'm, like, yanking to get it back out of the wood, and it's suddenly like a reenactment of the sword and the stone. Does not want to come out, and I'm just like, every bit of rage, every bit of teenage rage in me at that moment is like bubbling to the surface of, I will get this out of here, just fucking watch me. But I was a very angry teenager, by the way, just generally mad at the world. I had a lot of reasons to be mad at the world, but still, all the rage built up, like, alright, I got this thing back out, and I did it without help. Alright. Gonna try it again. I swing, go back down, and it makes the same sickening small thud against it, and barely, like, maybe this much of the blade, just barely, like, oh, come on! I hit it, like, as hard as I fucking could, and it only did that, what the fuck? I'm, like, getting more and more mad by the minute at this point. Meanwhile, my brother just, what's wrong with you? It's not even hard. Okay, now I'm more mad. But it's just like, alright, I'll get it back on start. And this is about the moment I noticed I didn't even hit it in the same spot as the first cut, so, oh boy, yeah, this is probably not the task for somebody with zero hand-eye coordination. And I forgot to turn off my alarm before I started recording. Sorry about that. But anyway, realize this is not the task for somebody with zero hand-eye coordination, but fuck it, I've come this far. I am too stubborn to turn back now. I am going to chop through this piece of wood. And at this point, my grandpa's just kind of like shaking his head like, whatever. He's like, he ain't gonna stop me. It's like, if she wants to try it, you let her try it. He's not about to stop me or put me off. Meanwhile, my sister and my other cousin are busy laughing their asses off in the doorway of the garage, which is only making me that much more mad. So, and I'm like, I got like one boot like stuck on the frickin' thing of wood. I'm trying to get it unstuck. Alright, bye. Just like, watch me, fuckers, I'm gonna do this thing. I'm doing it for girl power, I'm doing this for you, I'm doing this for gender affirmation. Just, I was just so mad. I was just like, it was about the concept of the matter to me more than anything of if boys can do it, I can do it, because in my mind, I am one. Therefore, may not have been born one, but you know what, I will do the thing. So I swing, and I once again miss and hit a totally different spot again. Yeah. Around this point, I think he finally came back over and was like, do you want me to show you again how you do it? Because it's not so much about how hard you hit it, you have to have a follow through. Fine. So I let him show me again. I let him walk me through an actual successful strike on it to see if maybe that'll help me, like, get the gist of what I'm supposed to be doing. Alright, cool. I'll do the thing. Watch me do the thing. Alright. I've got it. Swing and thunk. It was taking every ounce of willpower not to start angry crying at this point. I was so frustrated. I was like, no, no. I think he finally was like, do you want like a smaller hatchet or something that's not quite so heavy? I mean, it'll take more hits, but you might have better luck with that. I mean, I usually use these for the tree branches, but if you want to try it on that, you can. Fine. Fine. Yes. Yes, I'd like to try that. So, gives me a little bitty hatchet. I'm saying they're just angry. Just like, and I'm sure it's probably the most ridiculous, hilarious thing to watch as an outsider looking in. Like, my cousin and my sister are fucking dying watching this. My brother's just looking at me like, what's wrong with you? In hindsight, I'm like, dude, yeah, what the fuck was wrong with you, man? Like, oh my god, do not go Lizzie Borden on this poor log. It deserved better. It was once a mighty tree. Why are you defacing it like that? My god. My god. Oh god. And eventually he's like, I could also give you a heavier one that might give it more weight to want to slice through it more easily instead of going with a more typical one. And he also tried putting in a metal wedge into it. Aim for that. It'll split easier. That was my only saving grace, was ironically the heavier axe and aiming for the little splitter, the wedge in there. I did indeed manage to make it through the bottom, but good God, it took me way longer than I ever thought it would. And it took me way longer than my brother and my cousin, who were both doing this. And he's like, okay, now you gotta split it down the other direction. And, oh God, you mean I'm not done? No! Is it too late to tap out? I'm not so sure this is for me after all. I think I'm getting blisters along my hand right here. It's fine. You did fine. You can go back in the house. So, my pride and my ego slightly wounded, I went back in the house. But on the same token, it was just so fucking gender affirming that he did not stop me from trying. And he did try to troubleshoot and find a way for me to be included as much as I wanted to be included. And he did not talk down to me. He did not try to belittle in any way as much as I was fully expecting. He very much felt the need to... You know what? If she wants to try it, you let her try it. Don't you say a fucking word, he very much said to the two boys. Alright. Alright then. And that has stuck with me. Like, that was just very, very affirming on a lot of levels that I was included. Like, even if it didn't really pan out too much, didn't really work out, because I'm not exactly built for that task. Maybe if I did it a whole lot of times and built up the upper body strength, maybe, but just the way I am naturally built, I don't have it. I don't have it. I mean, I got these spindly little stick arms that have no meat on them whatsoever, no muscle. They got nothing. But in my brain, in that moment, I'm envisioning myself a big burly lumberjack, and it was very just, I don't know, empowering in that moment. Even if it turned out that I'm not very good at it, but still empowering nonetheless. It meant a lot to me that he let me do it. And then I find out years later, way after his death from my dad, that, oh yeah, he was like the first one that knew you were gay. Okay, this explains quite a few things, on quite a few different levels, of why he was so cool to just entertain all of my wanting to be one of the boys. Okay. Like, I thought I had come out to him about 2 weeks before he died, but, like, apparently he knew way before that, and in hindsight, I'm like, I guess there were a lot of signs there that, you know, a lot of hints, pretty much neon flashing signs that, hey, this one's not quite straight. It's okay. It's okay. It's not a bad thing. It's just one of those things where I'm like, yeah, I guess because initially I was like, how the fuck did he know? I thought I kept it so under wraps. How? How did you think you kept anything under wraps? You are about as obvious as you can get. Yeah, in hindsight, looking back, yeah, I know. But, God, at that age, I thought I was, like, one, so sneaky, but also at the same time, I thought it was a gender thing, not a sexuality thing. So, yeah, in hindsight, I know the difference now. But at 14, in a time that we didn't really have the whole discourse about these topics, we didn't really have much of any education whatso freaking ever in schools about these topics. Even in liberal-ass California. Yeah, that. But it has stuck with me that I was included on that day. It meant the world to me, even if I did suck at it. So, anyway, that's it for this one, guys. Have you ever chopped wood? And if so, were you better at it than I was? Especially if you're female, were you better at it than me? Because, yeah, apparently I suck balls at it, so... Anyway, that's it for this one. So as usual, if you like this video, go ahead and give it a like. If you're not already and you'd like to be, click subscribe, hit that notification bell icon so you never miss an upload, leave comments down below. Make sure you're following my social media accounts, my Facebook fan page, my Twitter, my Instagram, my eBay, my Reddits, everything and more, it's all down below. And if you like what I do here on this channel and you'd like to help support it, the donation link, as always, is down in the description. Anyway, guys, till next time, see ya.